If you are among the many newly single right now, really for any reason, or maybe you've been single for a long time and finally ready to re-enter the dating scene, it is not easy, and we have some advice for you now. Alana Pratt is an intimacy expert. She's written 6 books. She's an author. She has some tips for getting back out there, especially now. Alana, these are tough waters to navigate. Wouldn't you say they are, especially now?
Absolutely, more now than ever after having been locked down for a while. But the good news is when we have to slow down, we get clear on what really matters to our heart.
Well, good. So, well, maybe that will make us better at this as we go about it again. And for some people, they haven't dated. Maybe it's been decades since they've dated. You know, people who are older, who have been divorced, or maybe have lost a spouse to death. Do you find that that these singles have a lot in common still, no matter how they're single?
We all have the same heart. We all have the same fear of rejection, and we all have that same longing for deep, intimate connection. So I find one of the greatest things to do before we get out there again is really to take like 2 or 3 steps in so that we can take 10 leaps forward. And quite often what we'll find is that we blame others or we criticize ourselves that I'm not good enough. And really there's some inner work to grow. And if we don't do this inner work, we tend to attract the very same person in another body with the same lessons that we didn't learn last time. So please take the time to slow down, do your inner work so that you can show up as your best self, your fresh self, open to love.
That's good. That's good. Go within first. Now that's probably the hardest tip that you're going to give us, because that's the first step. That I got to know myself. And you find a lot of people don't?
Yes, a lot of people are wired backwards. They look for their worth, their safety, and their approval outside in. Am I good enough? Do you see me? Do you love me? Did you text me back? As opposed to coming home to ourself. I call it little you inside of our heart. Even if they reject you, I will never reject myself. Even if they don't appreciate me or see me, I will see and value myself. And that makes you confident and certain and sexy, and you enjoy the dating process.
Okay. Oh, I love that. So let's say here we are, certain and sexy, but we want to try a dating app. How do you feel about the apps, and who are they right for? There's a lot of different ones now.
There are a lot of different apps out there, and there are some that work better than others, to each his own. But here's what I decided after being an intimacy expert for 20 years and hearing my clients complain. You know, where are the people that know when there's a conflict, when there's a disagreement, how not to hide or blame? Where are the people that actually do the work? And as I started to do the research, Paula, I realized that dating apps make money when you stay single. They make money when you fail at love. Thus, they're designed to keep you single, actually not help you thrive in a relationship. Maybe just find somebody like a warm body, but over time, they don't teach you how to thrive at love. So we, at my company, actually created the world's first partnering app, and we combine a digital online intimacy curriculum, live weekly conscious connection calls where we practice meaningful connection, and then in Q4 of this year, by the winter, we will launch the dating portion of this app. So what we say is you become the one to find the one to keep the one.
Wow, and that's the one you call Heartmates, is that correct?
Yes, that's right, Heartmates.app. We say soulmates are 2 half-broken people that need to complete each other, which means you need to control each other, which isn't healthy. But a whole mate, or as we call a heartmate, is 2 people whole. 1 and 1 is not just 2. 1 and 1 is infinity.
Wow. Well, I like that a lot. So you say this will be up on its feet, you say by this fall or winter?
Yeah, we've launched it now, so people are doing the training and meeting every week on the Conscious Connection calls. And frankly, some of them are already meeting each other and dating. And then the dating portion of the app will be launched in the winter.
Cool. All right. So you talk a lot about sabotage, that we have sabotaging patterns. And you need to find out where that is for you so you don't fail at another relationship. Tell me how we do that.
Yeah, I'm a science geek, and so I like to interview quantum psychologists and learn about neuroscience. And what we've discovered is that only 5 to 10% of our awareness is conscious. that we can actually be aware of. But 90 to 95% of what's going on is under the hood, subconscious. So I want people to know that if they haven't been able to figure out, why do I do this sabotaging pattern all the time? You can't figure it out in your conscious mind. It's unconscious. It's hidden. It's a blind spot. So in order to really heal these sabotaging patterns, you've got to have legitimate healing of these unconscious patterns, and that's what we do. That's the coaching that I do, the deep subconscious work, so that you can go from maybe feeling scared or sabotaging your relationships to, as we said a moment ago, certain and sexy,
yes,
as you are newly single and getting out there mingling again.
Yeah, well, you know, you keep mentioning this coaching, and I can see how it would help to. It's hard to do this stuff on your own because, you know, it's hard to look at ourselves in these ways. So I think you do offer a lot of resources that we can look up right now on your site, correct?
Absolutely.
That are free.
Absolutely. I have a podcast. I have books. I also do coaching, group coaching, retreats, etc. Because what we all find is that we need someone to be the banks of the river so that we can be the river. Someone to hold us, not judge us, listen to us, so we can go deep and heal those past wounds. And the very worst can bring out the very best in us if we're willing to slow down, be courageous and humble, and do the inner work.
Wow.
It makes us a very valuable partner.
That's beautiful, Alana. Let's let everybody know where they can find these resources that you're speaking of right now. Well, there you are in your queen's chair on the cover on the cover of your on the front page of alanapratt.com.
On my website.
Yes, on your website.
Right.
Ready for the transparent truth of what it actually takes to find the one. Ooh, there's an intriguing question right there. You kind of look like the female version of Indiana Jones there, maybe.
Oh, thank you, Paula. That's a compliment. Thank you.
I know, right?
Got my leopard on for you.
I see. You did. I see your hat there, your ranger hat next to the chair. So, Alana, thank you for this encouragement. I think for the dating world here in 2022. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us today.
Oh, thank you for having me back. And please, everyone, don't give up on love. There is a way through. The inside creates the outside every time. So thank you again, Paula.
Thanks, Alana.